We will now demonstrate how to submit staff assignment records to CalPads. There are two ways to submit staff assignment records to CalPads. First is through online maintenance, where you can add SASS records one staff member at a time. This is the slower process. The faster process is through batch upload, where you can submit multiple records at once. You may extract the file from your SIS or use the SASS batch file template to build your file and then upload it to CalPads. However, since the SASS is a replacement type file, the one benefit of using online maintenance is if you want to add or edit one record without the need to resubmit your entire school or district SASS file. You may use this method especially when you're correcting a few remaining Fall 2 certification errors. Regardless of the chosen method of submission, CalPads will process the records the same way. Here's a demonstration on how to add a SASS record through online maintenance. Upon logging into CalPads, you may either go to Online Maintenance and click on Staff Data, or enter the SEID on the staff search field at the bottom. If you click on Staff Data, you have the option to search by seed, search by staff list if you are missing the seed of the staff employed, or search by staff assignment. Normally, a staff member has a seed, so if you want to add a staff assignment for this current academic year, just enter the seed number and click on search. CalPads will then bring you to the staff detail of the seed. As you can see, the staff member now has a staff demographic record. To add an assignment or view an assignment, click on Assignments. We see that the staff member has an assignment at Berkeley High with a job classification of 100% FTE percentage. To add a new record, just click on Add New Record. Identify the school that the staff is assigned to, enter a job classification, enter a job classification FTE percentage, and since this staff member has a job classification of pupil services, you are required to populate the non-classroom based job assignment code. Let's just say this person is a psychometrist. Now click on Validate and Post. If the staff member has multiple assignments under the pupil services classification, you may opt to add additional job assignments here. Click on Validate and Post. That is how to add a staff assignment through online maintenance. We will now demonstrate how to submit staff assignment records through batch file. Just like any other CalPads file templates or file submission, go to Upload View Submissions, click on File Upload, submit or choose Staff Assignment SASS. Type the job name, locate the file that you need to submit, and click on Upload Files. Once the file is uploaded, you will see a notification at the top that says File Upload Successful, and CalPads will automatically bring you to the View Submission page. In the View Submission page, you have the file type, you have some filters that you can populate to narrow the results that you want to view. Currently, the staff assignment file uploaded is not reflected on the results. You have to click on Apply Filter to bring up the current file upload status. Currently, the file is in process, so we just need to wait about 10 to 15 minutes before the file will be ready for review. You can again click on Apply Filter to see the status of the file uploaded. As you can see, the staff assignment file is now ready for review with 22 records that passed and 7 rejected records. If you want to view the details of this file, click on View or click on the job name link. So I click on View, and in the View Submission Details, there are two sections that you need to review. First are your View Errors and Warnings section, where you see the different rejected records and the different errors triggered by those rejected records. Second is your View Post-Pass records, where you see the records that passed, which you have the option to either post all or post individual school records. It doesn't make sense to post this record since the SASS file is a replacement type file. I would rather go back and review the errors first and make the corrections in your SIS and then extract a new file and re-upload to CalPads. If the file shows all records passed, then go ahead and post all records. Otherwise, if you click on Post All, go back and review your errors in your SISS, make the corrections, and resubmit the file. Then the new file that you resubmit will only overwrite your post-pass records. We will now discuss some common staff reporting scenarios LEAs encounter. When reporting admin staff, you report a job classification of 10 and then choose the appropriate non-classroom based or support assignment available for admins. If you notice, there are only a few codes available starting academic year 1920. For replacements with the retired codes that you normally use, please refer to the Retired Course Code Mapping Guide for 2019-20. To locate the course code mapping, you may go to the CalPAS User Manual by going to Help, click on User Manual, which brings you to the CalPAS User Manual homepage. Now click on Help, click on References, and click on Retired Course Code Mapping for 2019-20. This is the Retired State Course Code Mapping. There are multiple tabs at the bottom. Clicking on all courses would reveal the old course codes and the suggested new state course codes you may use. Also, if you notice, there's a non-classroom based assignment section. This will provide you the recommended codes you may use for the old codes you used before. For admins, you can just scroll and locate the old codes, and it should provide you the recommended code. You can also refer to the CalPAD's valid code combinations for the valid codes available for 1920. To go to the CalPAD's valid code combinations, you can just go to the same reference section of the CalPAD's user manual and click on the CalPAD's valid code combinations. The link to the valid code combinations is also available at the footer of the CalPAD's website. Clicking on the valid code combinations will bring up the spreadsheet, and if you click on this arrow, it should bring up the non-classroom support assignment job class codes. If you notice, some of these codes have a last academic year effective. This means that this code is effective in the indicated academic year. So for this current academic year, you just check the box for NA and click on OK, and that should provide you the current list of active codes for each of the appropriate job classifications. Again, you can just filter for admin, and you should be able to see the current valid codes for a non-classroom based assignment. For non-certificated admin staff, you report a job classification of 25 and the appropriate non-classroom based or support assignment available. If you'll notice, there are only 7 codes available starting academic year 1920. For replacements to the retired codes, please refer again to the retired course code mapping for 2019 for the appropriate codes the old codes should be aligned to. Although pupil service staff directly provide services to students, they do not instruct students and thus will require a non-classroom based or support assignment. The table on the right are the valid code choices for academic year 1920. For teachers, either with job classification 12, charter school non-certificated teacher 26, and itinerant teacher 27, they can be reported with either a course section or a non-classroom job assignment or both. For teacher or regular teacher 12, you report a job classification of 12 and a job classification FTE percentage, just like any other job classification. And then you have the option to either report a course section by assigning the seed number to that course that the teacher is teaching if this teacher is the teacher on record. You can also report a teacher with a non-classroom based or support assignment. The following are the choices that are available for teacher 12 in academic year 1920. Charter school non-certificated teachers can be reported with either a core section, a non-classroom job assignment, or both, similar to a teacher and itinerant teacher. The only difference is that when reporting a non-classroom based or support assignment, charter school non-certificated teachers have fewer non-classroom codes to be assigned to. So you have a mentor teacher, peer assistance and review, day-to-day substitute teacher, employee on leave, other certificated non-instructional assignment, non-instructional teacher librarian, and department chair. For job classification itinerant teacher 27, you may also report the teacher with either a core section, a non-classroom job-based assignment code, or both. An itinerant staff member is basically a staff assigned to more than one school site and or a teacher who provides one-on-one or small group support or resource instruction by either pulling students out of the classroom or coming into the classroom to provide the instruction. Normally, this classification code may be used for teachers providing EL services, PE teachers, band teachers, and some other courses that might apply for an itinerant teacher. It's important to note, though, that when you report an itinerant teacher and assign that teacher to a course, there is no need for the LEA to include the student to the course by submitting an SCSE record. However, if this class is for an EL service class, it is important that you submit an SCSE record to the class that this itinerant teacher is teaching. There are different ways in reporting itinerant teachers. An itinerant teacher can be assigned in multiple schools within the LEA, but may be reported at the district level with a full 100% FTE. So you can just assign the teacher to the district level, regardless if the teacher is sent to different sites. Alternatively, you can also assign the teacher to the different school of assignments that the teacher is assigned to. You just have to make sure that the job classification is evenly distributed to each of those schools. Itinerant teacher classifications may also be reported in combination with other job classifications that the staff member is credentialed in and the sites assigned to. So basically, you can assign a teacher at Berkeley High with a regular teacher classification of 50, and then you also assign a teacher at the district with a 27, and assign a teacher as an admin at Berkeley High. And as long as the FTE percentage doesn't exceed 200%, then this is a valid job assignment reporting. Here are some of the common ways to report teachers in CalPADS. Simple and common scenario is a regular teacher who is assigned as a teacher of record for a class. You report a job classification code of 12, which is teacher, and assign the teacher seed to a CRSE record. You use the appropriate state course code for that class. Now, if the teacher has other non-instructional assignments, you may also report a non-classroom job assignment code. For a charter school non-certificated teacher of record, you report a job classification of 26 and assign the teacher seed to a CRSE record as well. Again, use the appropriate state course code for that class. And again, if the teacher has other non-instructional assignments reported, you may also report a non-classroom job assignment code. Otherwise, just leave the fields blank. Now, for those teachers who were teaching classes with a state course code of 3020, code in prior years, you report a job classification code of 12, 26, or 27 if students need to be reported. Now, submit a CRSE record and use the appropriate state course codes appropriate to that scenario. So let's say if you have EL services, you may use 9103 or 9104. And if for special education support, resource specialist program, you may use 9231. Now, if the students do not need to be reported or do not need to be accounted for, let's say if you have pre-K students or even students in higher grade levels, you may submit a job classification of 27 and then submit the same course records. However, you do not need to submit the SCSE records of those students attending the classes. For substitutes who are the teacher of record for the class, because there is no permanent hire for that class due to vacancy, you report a job classification of 12, 26, or 27, depending on their certification, and assign the teacher seed to a CRSE record. Now, you again use the appropriate state course code for that class. Now, if you wish to additionally identify the teacher as a long-term sub or day-to-day sub, use a non-classroom job assignment code of 6014, which is day-to-day substitute teacher permanent employee. Otherwise, leave the fields blank. For permanently employed substitutes who are not currently assigned to any course and technically not the teacher of record, you report a job classification of 12, 26, or 27, depending on their certification, and assign the non-classroom job assignment code of 6014. You're not supposed to submit a CRSE record and assign the seeds to those records because they're not the teacher of record anyway. In general, when reporting pull-out push-in teachers, you submit a job classification of 27 and assign the teacher to a course with a appropriate state course code. Now, let's say if these teachers, for example, are teachers for pull-out classes for EL services, let's say for elementary EL classes, you may use a state course code of 92103 or 9104. And then for those teachers who are not employed by the LEA, but instructing your students, for example, teachers who are instructing college classes or who are in CTROP classes, you do not submit a staff demographic record nor a staff assignment record. However, you submit a CRSE record and assign the state course code SEED 999 for those records. With regard to substitute teacher reporting, you report a substitute teacher in CalPads when the substitute teacher teaches the class on census day for a course with a permanent teacher on record. You also report a teacher when they are subs who are employed on census day but are not subbing on that day. In these two scenarios, you report the staff member with a staff assignment record with a corresponding job classification of 12, 26, or 27, and a non-classroom job-based assignment code of 6014, which is day-to-day substitute teacher. However, if a substitute teacher was teaching a class that has no teacher on record on census day and pending the hiring of a permanent teacher, that particular teacher will then be the teacher on record. And as such, you report the substitute teacher seed to the course. You may also report the teacher with the non-classroom job assignment code of 6014, but this is optional since you already assigned the teacher to a class. When reporting staff members who are on leave or are no longer employed on census day, there are some reporting nuances that you need to be aware of. For staff on leave, report a SDM record for the current academic year like any regular active employee. However, for the staff assignment record, report a SASS record with a non-classroom assignment code of 6018, which is employee on leave, and report a FTE percentage of 0. Otherwise, the record will trigger a SASS 01118. For staff members who are no longer employed on census day, populate their most recent demographic record with the employment end date. Do not populate the effective end date since this will just trigger CalPads to create a new active demographic record. Do not submit a staff assignment record for this current academic year. Otherwise, CalPads will generate a fault to certification error down the road. Let's now discuss some common validation errors that LEAs encounter